Let's discuss solve problem 2 on doubly linked list. Consider an implementation of unsorted doubly linked list. Suppose it has its representation with the head pointer only. Given the representation, which of the following operation can be implemented in big O of one time, that is order of one time, right? These are the operations available in front of you and the options are also available. You need to identify the correct option. I would encourage you to pause the video for a while and try to answer this question on your own. I hope you're done. Let's move on to the solution. First, we will consider this operation, that is insertion at the front of the linked list. We are considering an unsorted doubly linked list, and that too it has a representation with the head pointer only. We have a head pointer. We do not have a tail pointer like we have in the previous question, right? That we have seen already, the solve problem 1. In this particular problem, we are considering a representation with the head pointer only. Let's discuss this insertion at the front of the linked list operation. We know that if we want to insert a node at the front of the linked list, then it will take constant amount of time. In this case also, it will take constant amount of time. Let me tell you, we want to add this node at the front of the linked list. For this purpose, we need this line of code, that is head prev equal to temp, because we have to update the prev part of this node so that it can point to this node. And then we have to update the next part of this particular node so that it can point to this node, right? We can do this by using this line of code. And finally, we can update our head pointer so that it can point to this node. And that's it. This operation will take constant amount of time. Isn't that so? That's why insertion at the front of the linked list takes constant amount of time. Now let's discuss this operation, that is insertion at the end of the linked list. Let us suppose we want to add this node at the end of the linked list. Now let me tell you, we do not have any tail pointer that is pointing to the end node, that is the last node of the linked list, right? We only have a head pointer. Definitely we need to traverse the list. In order to traverse the list, we need a temporary pointer. Let the temporary pointer be temp2, which is currently pointing to the first node of the list. Now, we will use this piece of code in order to traverse the list using temp2 pointer. We know the number of iterations depends on the length of the linked list. If n is the length of the linked list, then the time complexity is big O of n. The time complexity will definitely be big O of n, because here we are talking about the traversal. We are considering the loop here, and the temp2 must stop at the last node of the list. That is why the time complexity depends on the length of the linked list, and hence it is big O of n. So insertion at the end of the linked list takes order of n time. Now let's discuss how much time this particular operation will take, that is deletion of the front node of the linked list. In order to delete the front node of the linked list, we just have to move our head pointer towards right. And then we just have to free the node using this free function, and here we have to pass head prev. And that's it. There is no need of any temporary pointer. These two lines of code will do the work. And finally, we have to update the prev part of this node so that it must contain null instead of the address 1000, right? So time complexity is definitely big O of 1. Now let's discuss deletion of the last node of the linked list. If you want to delete the last node of the linked list, then we need a temp pointer so that we can traverse the list. Temp pointer is required in this case because we have to traverse the list and we have to reach the last node of this list. We again need this piece of code, that is while temp next not equal to null, temp equal to temp next. Obviously, there is no doubt that this operation will take order of n time because of this loop. I'm not completing this code, okay? But you can understand that why this operation takes order of n time, right? So it is clear that operation 4, that is deletion of the last node of the linked list, takes order of n time. And it is clear that option B is the correct option in this case.